people finna go in on us because we're gonna talk about stories and stuff. Oh, you what do you call it?
You're convicting your own self because
Yeah, but so everything we talk about is on
I've been
record.
convicted.
He
I'm
been
already,
convicted.
It's already a dead issue. I'm gonna have a clean slate.
His stories was on the Waco Tribune Herald, the newspaper.
What it do?
So what it do, man?
How's your stomach?
That mug is out of there.
You got the bubble guts and everything over here.
Out of there.
I haven't even eaten a burrito yet. What's going on here?
I gotta count my calories.
How many
So
calories
that's
you
what
got?
happens when you count calories. You have
I gotta count calories.
How much would that?
I done lost 30 pounds.
Well, how much would that burrito? How many calories would that have been?
Probably about 1,000.
For
I
real?
only got 2,000 per day.
1,000?
Yeah.
man, but you're missing out though.
No.
That burrito, if that grease ain't coming down your elbow, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, what would you call that? What kind of burrito is that when the grease is coming down?
Oh, fabuloso.
Yeah.
Man, where I come from, something like that, man, that's a delicacy.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, man. Especially with the chorizo in it coming down your hand is.
And you specifically ordered that.
Oh yeah, specifically.
So yeah, let me get the extra grease. I want the grease coming down.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Basically, the way I have my burritos done is you cannot mix the chorizo with the egg together. You just can't do that. You got to cook it separately and then put it in there, so you can retain that grease to give you that flavor on it.
Like, man, who's this Mexican?
Yeah, for real. Like, what do you mean?
Well,
Martha Stewart. Like,
What if he an extra on the?
I gotta be extra every time I gotta tell somebody at a restaurant like, so no lo quiero junto. You don't want it the same, right? Like, no, I don't want it put together. I want to cook it separately and then put it inside the burrito because you retain the flavors like that. Oh, okay. And they'll make it, you know what I mean? Some people won't make it. They'll just do whatever, you know what I mean? They'll cook it this like everybody else does, cook the egg and chorizo together.
we just got super technical on a simple old burrito.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely. But hey, it gives it a whole different taste though.
Yeah.
It takes you to a whole different level with that.
Yeah.
So what it
Trying to
do?
level up on a burrito,
Level up.
there you go.
Level up.
Well, first off, Adrian Fardo. I'm the son of. Go ahead, Homer.
So your name is Adrian Fardo.
My name is Adrian Fardo.
Homer Fajardo.
And my name is Angelo Fajardo. So this podcast, the Wyze Guyz podcast, officially launched. So dope. We've been planning this for about a year.
Well, it was dope because about 2 months ago we were at a Rick Warren conference and we were talking about names and you had brought up the Wyze Guyz. Well, first off, I want to say thank you for that conference.
Yeah.
Because I saw you at that conference, like everything Pastor Rick Warren was talking about. It was super dope.
Yeah.
But you brought up the Wyze Guyz and I was like,
Wyze
what's
Guyz
Wyze
with
Guyz?
the Z at the end.
Yeah, Wyze Guyz with the Z. And then it came up for this whole conversation about where the Wyze Guyz even originated from.
Yeah.
So like, talk a little bit about where that even originated. Where is the Wyze Guyz? Like, what was that? Where'd that come from?
That comes from back in the days before I was saved.
So what year was that? That was like 01, right?
Yes, 01.
01.
2001. That's
And it was in Waco. And so how did it come about? Like, because I know the recording, what was it? A
Recording studio? Yeah.
Recording studio. And so that was the rap group's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did that get started? Like, who came to you or whatever?
Actually, I got to give props to two brothers, which is the Valentino brothers. They're the ones who actually came up to me and they had a vision to bring Wyze Guyz up, but in a business format.
Mm-hmm.
They brought a portfolio just like a business, and they said we can have all these businesses under the Wyze Guyz, not just rap. We're talking about having football team, talking about having a landscape. Landscape was barely growing up, so now you see landscaping everywhere.
Landscape companies.
Yeah, landscape companies. You're talking about phone companies. I'm talking about they had a vision for it, man, and I had the pocketbook, you know. So
So you had the money.
I had the
Where
money.
did you get the money from? Did you own like a a restaurant or something?
Oh no, this is my old way of life, you know, with
So
just
hustling.
hustling, drug dealing.
Dope boy.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. So I had the money, and we put those two together, and that's like my way of thinking is, look, I can make money because I was already trying to make money in different routes. I already was bringing bands from Mexico. I was doing rodeos and doing other things just to
Just to flip your money.
Flip the money.
Trying to wash it.
Yes, definitely
Okay.
trying to wash it, trying to do things differently. You know what I mean? Hoping maybe that one day I can get out the game and do, you know, live a clean life.
Yeah, for sure.
But they brought this vision that I was already wanting to do to begin with. They just added on to it. So it's like, let's group up and let's actually
So how much money did you have to give him?
just start the business first. We started a place. We opened up a place, which is
In North Waco.
in North Waco, definitely.
Okay.
They opened up
I
a
still remember
place.
the studio.
Yeah,
I still remember I was probably about 11. This was what, in 01,
yeah,
02?
yeah.
I still remember we pulled up. That's when the Avalanches just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And was it a black avalanche?
Yeah.
And so I remember pulling up to the studio and walking in the studio. It's freaking smoke everywhere in that mug, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It looked like I don't know, it's just weird. You know what I mean? Like a, you know, it just
club.
looked crazy. Yeah, like a club, basically. And I know,
Was Dad dancing?
Nah, he wasn't dancing. And I seen some of his homeboys there, and I was like, man, because at 11, I knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was something serious, you know, because I was a part of conversations when, you know, they used to chill or whatever, be around. And so I knew that illegal stuff was going on here. You know what I mean? And so, but I still remember that as a kid. It's crazy.
Definitely,
You know?
definitely.
So
Yeah.
whatever happened with that, it just,
Well, after that, we had it. Like I said, we had a big vision. We were starting to do things. I did what I had to do to bring the money in, and they planned everything out so they can go ahead and make businesses. Okay, they were never part of my old past life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were all about vision and making companies and
Yeah, for sure.
and so forth.
so they were just looking for an investor.
Yes.
So you can pour into it. And then we know how that goes. I mean, a year, 2 years later, we get rated, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
so that's where Wyze Guyz comes from, you know, like that was the bad part, you know, coming from dad. You know, like
And let me emphasize on this. As men, as how God has created men, in the book of Genesis, he told Adam, take domain over everything. We've been instilled to be leaders. So at that point, I was a leader to make the best of any situation. You know, I'm a person who can conquer and do so many things, but I did it for the wrong reasons. I did it all because I allowed Satan to come into my life, and I said yes to it at all points, and from my young youth all the way to where I gave my life to Christ. So that was instilled in us to be leaders, to go out and man, take possession of everything.
yeah.
But now that God has come into our lives in now it's a different vision now.
It's different. It's real wisdom, because we thought we had wisdom. You thought you had wisdom back then.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? And now we have good intentions. Our lives have been changed. Now we want to give people wisdom. You know what I mean? And so so that's why we started. That's why we called this podcast the Wyze Guyz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so so when we're talking about podcasts, like Wyze Guyz, there's 3 of us, and we're gonna be giving people wisdom through podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, so and we've been giving people wisdom since I changed my life, you know, in 2012 when I got sober. Jumped into the whole, you know, church, became a youth director, working with inner city kids. It was crazy as heck. Crazy, knuckleheads. And Dad was in prison, and you were giving people wisdom in there. You know what I mean? To the whole bunch of crazy stories that we're gonna be talking about. You know, and then you coming alongside me, working with the knucklehead kids and yada yada yada.
Well, yeah, I wasn't giving wisdom. You were the main one giving wisdom to me.
Yeah.
And I remember because even though I was in the youth ministry, I was still very rebellious.
Shout out Life Church Waco.
Yeah, shout out Life Church Waco for real. And 18 to 22, 23, I was still very rebellious, even though I wanted to follow the Lord. But I still remember those sermons that you did in the youth ministry.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were given so much wisdom, bro. And
Yeah.
it was great. And it was a way that all of us could understand.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
It was straight wisdom. And so that was a blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing, giving people wisdom, man. And then, so I'm doing, the youth ministry stuff for 5 years popping. We reaching kids. We going, reaching the high risk kids, like crazy, gang members, all that type of stuff. And then one day I decided to do a video. In 2017, I decided to do a video, and that video was meant to draw people to the church because I had a heart to reach people, bro. Like, I got this. We got the hope here.
Yeah, I knew you were part of reaching people because some of the things you put on Facebook and youth ministry, like, hey, bro, you can't be putting stuff like that. But I knew your heart.
No,
you were
yeah.
trying to reach people.
Yeah, and trying to be part of the culture. 'Cause,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want no cheesy stuff going on, bro. Like the church, we kind of out of date. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be relevant, and so I did whatever it took to get kids to the church, the high schoolers. You know what I'm saying? And high schoolers were getting dropped off, not to come with their parents. Their parents were, out there, and so they get dropped off. But
And one of them even walked like 5 miles. Antonio,
Yeah.
he walked.
yeah, shout out Antonio.
He walked like
He
like
would
4
walk.
miles.
He would walk miles to get to the church.
Just like I used to drop you off at CCD classes and just drive off.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like that. We were like 8. We went for the nachos.
It's like, oh, how y'all gonna drop us
Shout out
off?
St. Francis.
Yeah.
Shout out to St. Francis Church.
How y'all gonna drop us off but y'all don't go to church?
Yeah.
You need to go to church, learn about God. But yeah, that's drive. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we decided to do a video 2017 to get people to the church. I think I named the title. I named the caption, "Can you still smoke weed and still come to church?" I put, "Yes, let me explain." And it got like 10,000 views. And I was like, dang, that's crazy, because I'm used to like 200 views. So I'm like, dang, that's crazy, man. We finna reach a lot of people to get people to the church. And so I think Father's Day was coming up. I did a video, and it was called Why I Hate Father's Day. And I was talking about how, I forgot what the video was about. But it was about how basically, I forgot what it was about.
About the Father's Day one?
The Father's Day. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like you hate your father because of this. It was like a draw in though.
Yeah, like I hated my father at one time, and I didn't like it. Father's Day was like just another day.
Yeah,
There's nothing to celebrate. My dad ain't even here. He locked up.
Yeah, and that drew a lot of people because a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like that, and that got 100,000 views. Then there was a lot of tension in the U.S. at that time between, the inner city, the culture against the police departments.
Yeah.
So I did a video. What was it called?
Um,
I forgot what it was called.
something towards the cops. Like
Yeah, it
you
was something-
hated the cops.
Yeah. So it was like some clickbait type of stuff to draw people in, right?
Yeah.
Because and that got 1 million views. And bro, that was crazy, bro. Like I had an anxiety attack. Bro, I'm driving over the bridge on 18th. I'm driving my phone, bro. I had a Android
And this was on your personal profile.
personal profile. Bro, I had an Android phone, Samsung, I forgot what it was called.
Because you were ripping Samsung. We were trying to get you the iPhone, but you kept
Yeah.
like, bro, that's
I had my
come
little
on now.
notepad on there and everything. But bro, I was catching an anxiety attack because my phone overheated. There was so many notifications that the Facebook, the little app on there, it said 999. And then my phone was so hot because it just kept on going up, it cut off. And I was just spooked, bro. Like, I was like, I don't know, it was just something like, I don't know, it was weird, bro. Like, I pulled up in front of George's in South Waco. I pulled up in front of George's. I swung open the door. There's a whole bunch of people in the front. I said, man, y'all call the ambulance. I'm finna have a heart attack.
Did they call?
They came out, bro. The manager came out with a one of those defibrillator things. He came out finna shock me. Ambulance showed up.
If they did,
Yeah, because I got high blood pressure too.
yeah, you could have died.
Oh, boom.
And the ambulance pulled up. They're like, just chill, man. You having a panic attack. I said, God. Everybody looking at me like I said, dang, that's messed up.
I mean, that's funny.
So that's how it started, speaking that wisdom to people through social media. And so yeah, now we continue with the vision, man.
And during this whole time, there were some dads locked up,
Dad's locked up.
and then he's hearing about these videos.
He's hearing about the videos.
So
People in prison walking around with phones, tablets, laptops.
So that was one of my biggest obstacles is, man, wanting to be part of the family. We wanted to be what y'all are doing out there and so forth. And that's what everybody has a phone inside there. It's just to look at the family or be part of society, knowing that you can't be part of society. You're getting a glimpse of it, and in reality, it sickens other people. Because I hear from other people, it's like, man, my family, I got to see my kids and, this and this and that. All of a sudden, they're just downcasted, because it's a depressing place to be at. You can try the most coldest, gangbanger, tattooed up person. If that person has a heart for a family, he's going to be hurting no matter what. And I met so many people.
Because that's the misconception. People see these, people tatted up, repping the gangs, and they just think they some just cold-blooded killers. But what you seen them in there,
No, I've seen them when we're at.
and they be hurt, like,
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. They come to my cell, we'll close the cell up, like, what's going on? Close the cell door, like, what's up, man? Holler at me, what's going on?
yeah.
Man, just my kids going through it, man, and my wife and my children, my mom, and man, I don't go to church, man, but you're the only thing I know about God is the only person I know the closest to God is you. So, can we pray?
So what kind of going back to the videos, what's that one time where you said that they were calling you sorry or something?
Oh, because of the things I used to do when I used to drop you off.
So I did a video on I would do a video on a story from when dad called me a name, and it was a video about shaming or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so they probably show
yeah.
something like that, and what'd he say?
Man, you're a sorry dad. Man, you're cold blooded. You're a sorry dad, man. Man, we respect you as a pastor, man, but you sorry them up, man. Cussing and everything like, man, dog, I didn't know you were that. I said, man, that was my old life, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't.
And see, a lot of people will comment, but like, why you talking about your dad like that, this and that? But that's not the point. Point was like, there's other people going through this.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to speak to the fathers, like, dude, like there's a video when it was the time when I did this video where I talked about the time when it was the Rally on the Valley. Rally on the Valley is like on Memorial Weekend, everybody takes their lowriders, all the cars to Valley Mills Drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that day you were like, hey, we're going to go. And I was excited because you had the 6'4" Impala Chameleon drop top, the whole nine. So I'm like, man, like we're finna go ride the Valley. And then I didn't go. Dad took off. So I shared that in the video, and it was kind of like, dang, that's messed up, you know what I'm saying? And the video was about chasing the wind, like not caring about the kid, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point was like, you fathers out there, your kids are they're hurt. You know what I'm saying? You put other people before your family, it's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So those videos were deep. And so I'm pretty sure he's seen something like that.
Yeah, definitely, because as a father who loves their children, when you were up in there inside the prison cell, man, that it's hurtful, and you start thinking now that you're sober, now that you have a clean mind, a clean soul, and now that the Holy Spirit is dwelling inside you, things start to come about, and remember a lot of things that you did that you thought that you never did before.
Mm-hmm.
I had instances where I even had to apologize to Adrian on something that God just revealed to me automatically, that I hurt my son.
Yeah.
I hurt him in a deep way that it crushed me, because I even had a dream about it, and it's like, man, I hurt my son. I didn't even know I hurt him.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it was that he even knew about it until I caught him. And I said, "Do you remember this?" He says, "Yes, Dad, I do remember."
That's deep.
And man, I couldn't stop crying on that phone. You know, people were behind me in line and getting ready to get on the phone. I didn't care who was watching me because that was deep of what I did of my past, and I didn't know that it hurt him.
Yeah.
So many things over the course of time, I knew that I hurt you, both of y'all and your sister and other family members, but most of all y'all, man, it was just so hurtful. It was hurtful.
And even just being out there in the streets, like being in the game, you started off. You of course you loved us. You know what I'm saying. But being in the game, it sucks you up, and you start to do things that carry you away.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you started the game, right? Because you wanted to provide for us.
Mhm.
That was the main mission, right? And so,
Well, he tells of a story of when it was Christmas time and you didn't have the funds to get us what we wanted. And that's the reason why you decided to go towards the game.
no,
But
we got to take it back further. The time, look, okay, so now, okay, the time when I mean, we're not finna, cause people finna go in on us, cause we're gonna talk about stories and stuff. Oh, what do you call it? Where what do you call it? Like if we talk about the crime, you're what?
Oh, you're convicting your own self. Because
Yeah, but so everything we talk about is on
I've been
record.
convicted.
He
I'm
been
already-
convicted.
It's already a dead issue. I'm gonna have a clean slate.
His stories was on the Waco Tribune Herald, the newspaper.
So-
It's already out there. So the time when you got started in the game,
Mhm.
right? This is basically when you've been in the game in the '90s, right? But you were like little, you know,
Push a small weight.
push a small weight, little here there. But then when the big thing happened was
Late 90s, actually 99.
'99. But the
2000,
day,
2001.
talk about the day when, remember, they came to our house.
Oh, so I had quit the game for a while.
Mhm.
In 99, we moved out from the hood.
We were in South Waco.
We were inside Waco.
South 30th.
We moved out the hood. I said, you know what? I want a better life. Thinking I wanted a better life.
Where were you
for
working at?
y'all. Was I working at?
Yeah.
Purpose Bearing.
Purvis Baron.
Purpose Bearing right there on Franklin. Right down the street from
Okay.
Jim's Fried Chicken. Everybody know that. You know what I mean?
Good old.
Good old chicken. Shout out to the chicken place over there on Franklin Street. They're still open.
yeah, they
Old
are
school.
still,
Yeah.
Old school.
still getting it.
Still getting it.
So we were living in the hood, and then you decided to go to.
Yeah, I said, you know
you-
what? I want a better life for y'all.
Mhm.
I don't want you to be part of what I went through in life, you know. Shoot, I come from the north side of Waco, right down the street from Parkside, where shoot, man, we had
call it
roaches. We had
They
little,
call it Baby Compton.
basically,
Yes, y'all.
basically, yes. Back in the 80s, man, shoot, all the murders and everything you could think of is around that area. So we lived out there down the street from there, and man, we lived in a house where, man, roaches climb on top of your bed when you go to sleep. You got to do your sheets like this, and
Oh, we already know.
rats.
How they go across your feet.
Heck, rats all
They
the
flying.
You feel the rats coming on top of your leg, like, man, God, all you hear thunk because you done threw them across the floor, across the
No,
room.
when the rats are running at night and they can't see, so they run into the chairs.
Oh yeah, that type of
What kind of rats-
environment. You know
rats
what
do
I
you
mean?
got?
Those are the hood
What
rats.
kind of rats you got?
Some South Waco rats.
Yeah, for real. So
Half rat, half gerbil.
It's like I've never heard of those kind of rats, bro. you got some.
hey, but for real though, so I always thought, you know what I mean, growing up, I said, you know, when I finally have my kids, I'm not gonna allow them to go through that. So and plus the environment, the schools and so forth. So I'm thinking that I'm finna go move to a better place, moving to Hewitt, send y'all to Midway, and hopefully I can get a better education, better than what I did. Hopefully I can accomplish bigger goals than what I did. That's just what a father would always want. You know, I remember my dad, always said, I want you to be better than me, you know. That's another story.
Shout out to Grandpa Ruben.
Yeah, definitely. Because my mom, we lived in with my mom. You know, they were divorced when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, but he still instilled certain things I still remember to this day. I always want you to be better than me. So I thought the same way,
For sure.
same thing for y'all. So
Yeah.
we moved from there, and I got out the game and I said I was not gonna go back into the game again.
So talk about that specific day, what we were doing and who came up.
Man, actually I was looking already at my bank account and we were
You had
our-
like $10?
Man, nah, it was a little bit more than that, man.
Probably had it like a G.
Yeah, probably like a G, especially living over there. And I had a beat up Ford and
The white Ford.
yeah, that brand of
The
white
H
Ford.
model.
Yeah,
We used to jam SPM in there.
We're in the
Shout out
we're in the
SPM.
suburbs, and
Yeah.
you're feeling like this.
yes.
Yeah.
Because
so
now
account's low.
we done bought the house. We done renovated the inside of the house. You know, all new TVs and marble floors and all. Not marble floors, but yeah, marble floors, tile floors.
Tile floor from Mexico, right?
Yeah, we bought it from Mexico, and so we're looking nice. You know what I mean? But now all that money went. You know what I mean? And so I'm working. I always had a job, but I said, man, we need more money, and it's not cutting it. And my check and your mom's check was not gonna cut it.
So we were eating, right?
Yeah, we were eating.
No, I'm saying that day we were eating, or we were just chilling in the living room when that guy knocked on the door.
Yeah, we're chilling in the living room.
Okay.
Yeah, we're chilling in the room, and nobody, you know, nobody from Waco goes all the way to Hill without calling someone because it's a long ways drive to go all the way over there. So
Yeah.
family would always call, hey, we finna go over there visit or whatever.
Yeah.
So we don't expect nobody over there. So finally got the phone. Finally, somebody was knocking on the door. It's like I thought it was Girl Scout cookies or something, Boy Scout. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of Girl Scout cookies.
And then the Hewitt police station was right there. So
Yeah, like 2-3 blocks away from there. So like, then the door was somebody rang the doorbell and I got out and opened the door and it's like I see an old friend of mine that we used to do business a long time ago. I grilled out, big old gold chain. And it's like, man, what's up, man? What are you doing? Like, man, I thought you lived here. I said, how you know I live here? Because I don't let nobody come to the house. It's like, man, I came to get some pizza not too long ago, and man, I seen you cutting the grass, so I figured you were cutting the grass for the owners of this house. But I talked to one of your kin folks, and at the flea market, they told me you lived in Hewitt, so I put two together. It's like, all right, so what's up? What you need? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we just don't let anybody come to my house like that. It's like, man, I haven't had none in a while, man. I haven't had no birds in a while, man, and my connection's getting dry,
what is
man.
a bird?
A kilo of cocaine. It was-
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, a kilo of cocaine, you know what I mean? I haven't had one in a while, you know, so see if you can, you know, see if you're still doing anything. It's like, nah, I'm out, bro. I'm out. Like, man, come on, man, make that phone call, man. Come on. I said, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm trying to live a straight life right now. He's like, man, I got $260K right now. Just, you know, spend with you. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I said, well, if you change your mind, here you go. Here goes my number. Call me, dog. Let's do something, man. Come on. I said, all right, I'll see what's up. Took his number real quick.
And that's a lot. And that's a lot of 260K, because 260K is still a lot of money. That was in 2000.
Yeah,
2000. So that was probably what, double, probably
yeah.
the word. Yeah. But anyway, keep going.
So from there, man, I thought about it and like, nah, I ain't finna go in the boil. And I thought about it some more and like, nah, I ain't finna do nothing. Man, for 2 weeks straight, man, I go to bed looking at the ceiling, just thinking about 260K. I said, man, I can flip it real quick.
Yeah.
I can make a phone call real quick to Mexico and I can flip that thing real quick. And man, 2 weeks passed by. I called a cousin of mine. I said, today's the day. Hey, let's make that phone call real quick. And sure enough, he made that phone call, and that weekend, we went to Mexico, started talking to the people, crossed the border.
And that's when it started.
So
basically, it's crazy because he's over here thinking for 2 weeks, constantly thinking about that temptation. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because it's like, that can happen with any of us. You know, like sitting there thinking about an opportunity, you know, and just pondering on that thought, you know, and Dad didn't have no kind of, you know, mentorship, or there was nobody out here. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And so it's like he's having this thought and he gave into that thought. You know what I'm saying? And so
Well, I think also too, like there is this discontentment that he had already. So this discontentment of like, how can I get more?
yeah.
And I think the more as man, when we have this discontentment, because we all struggle with that,
Yeah.
of wanting more.
Because, you know, the misconception too, though, is like people say, you know, there ain't no jobs, we're gonna get in the game,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But there's so many opportunities to get jobs, right?
Mhm.
But we want the faster route,
Yeah.
right?
Especially in our culture, in the Mexicano culture, not to debunk anybody else's culture, but our culture is known or has some type of know someone,
Yeah,
especially from down south,
Yeah.
somehow, some way. So it's
Bring-
family opportunity, a friend opportunity. It's very easy to fall into that trap by the enemy.
Yeah.
Because it's now that I come out, it's even more frequently known to get into that because the opportunity is just in a broader way
yeah,
more than it was before. Just by even looking at, videos and,
yeah.
social media and stuff like that. It's like, man, before it was like kind of a secret.
Oh, they branding on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
They branding, bro. Like they showing money and say hit us up.
Oh, for real?
So it's out there,
Like
out there.
marketing?
So do you think
That's great.
you got in the game behind discontentment, or like not being content with what you have, basically, right? Wanting more.
Yes, because I could have.
We could have survived.
Yeah, I could have survived.
It's gonna be
You know what I
tight.
mean? Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Could have survived, but I wanted more.
wanted
Definitely because
So that right there is the
greed.
the greed right there, like wanting more. And that's our culture. We look at the next person, man, they got a nice car. We're gonna do something, whether it's good or bad. We're gonna take a step. Somebody over here advertising, we finna go hit them up, do something illegal. Even if it costs us time.
But I don't even think, and we can go into the legal part, but it's not even people who do illegal things.
Yeah.
It's people. It's everybody.
Even for sure.
You're wanting more. You go and get the higher paying job, but it takes away from your family.
Yeah.
And it takes away from all these other things in your life. And we're losing it. We're losing that first calling, which is our family.
Yeah.
And so it's not just the illegal part, it's
That's
also just
Yeah.
everybody that's
Yeah.
the greed is just really is what drives us.
Oh, yeah.
And every man as a provider,
Yeah.
you want more for your kids.
Yeah.
But it's just this contentment. The Bible says for us to be content with godliness is great gain.
Yeah.
Contentment though, and I believe if we find a man that's content, we find a grateful man, a man that's just a joyful man.
Yeah.
But the man that's greedy is a man that just continues to pursue these things that are just not healthy for their
Chasing
family.
the wind.
Yeah, and
It becomes their God.
yeah, and then if we don't deal with it head on, sin never affects just you.
Yeah.
It affects everybody that's around.
And that's a generational
it's a generation.
generational thing. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, it didn't start with you making those choices.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to get that deep today.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah, that's-
Let's go deep.
because
Brazos River deep.
Yeah, because
Pacific Ocean deep.
yeah, let's do that. Because it starts way back from our family members, from way back.
Yeah.
It goes way back with
The early
them.
1900s.
Yeah, you can say that.
And it's crazy because we still got those roots because my great grandpa, my grandpa Reuben, he just passed away. Rest in heaven. But he was 95.
Mm-hmm.
I still got his ID. He was born in 1927, 1929.
I think so.
So he's still telling stories. So we got a whole history of what our family's been through. So when we say this goes back, we know for a fact. You know what I mean? So because it started, you went through some things with your dad,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
From him leaving when you were what, 5?
No, 7.
When you were 7, when he took off and you ran after his truck, right?
Yeah.
That's deep right there.
But your dad, what was his discontentment in?
With his dad.
See, that's deep.
See, it goes in steps all the way. There's a big root to it because his dad, he had issues with his dad, and my great-great-grandfather didn't even know his dad because his dad passed away before he was raised up. So my grandfather was raised by his brother. Yeah, so it goes back. It goes a long ways when it comes to dads.
Yeah.
The discontentment of where our father position was at when we were a child.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, I preached on that too, man. I would preach on that, on social media about the dads because a lot of people are going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I preach on a lot on changing the legacy of my family with my son. Like I'm even particular on even how we conversate around my kids. So we don't normalize a lot of things we've gone through. I want them to see a new life.
Bro, that is so crazy because I always thought that our family was normal as far as the dysfunction. But when I would go check out these other families, I'd be like, y'all never went through stuff like this?
Bro.
No.
Bro.
Like, no, we didn't go through that.
No, man, what's crazy? Because I was like 5, 6 when we'd be at Gabriel's house on Park Street. I remember seeing mountains of weed on the table, like big old piles from knee high, and then seeing dad and all his stuff, seeing duffel bags of money, bang bands. And so when I was like 15, I remember thinking, I thought that if I seen somebody in the neighborhood, in the hood, driving a nice car, I thought they sold them. Everybody was a drug dealer. Like I literally thought, bro, that if you had something nice, it's because you're a drug dealer. Crazy, and I thought that was normal, but it wasn't normal. You can have a good job and have a clean car, slab. You know what I mean? So
be successful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Then so yeah, man.
That's crazy. Yeah. I was going back to the parent. But yeah, it was crazy how I would see go and talk to these families, and some of the things I was talking about, I was like, yeah, I never went, but yeah, they would say, no, we don't go through that. This is, and shout out to my in-laws, man, my wife's family, like they were, like I saw what we used to have in Hewitt, where they would sit at the table together and they would eat together and they would do things as a family together. And it was like, man, this is normal. Like, this is what we used to have. We used to be in Hewitt and we were sitting in this house, you know what I'm saying? Around the table talking about stories. And it was just a beautiful thing. And it was kind of like, it gave me a vision for my family. Like, man, I could do this for my family. Like, it doesn't have to be this kind of lifestyle. It can be something different.
Yeah.
And so it's, and you go back to the fatherhood part.
Yeah.
It goes back to the father, Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
The sin didn't
temptation.
The sin the Eve fell, but God held the man accountable.
Yeah.
It falls back on the man as a father. And that's very important for each and one of us to be held accountable as a man. It's gonna fall upon us as men.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's crazy because I'm starting Genesis again, and it's like I'm on that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like falling into that. I'm pretty sure Eve was thinking about, should I eat this? She was thinking about it, man. It looks good, and she, ate it. You know what I mean? And so,
but the doubt came because the enemy came and said, "Did God really say?"
Yeah, you start. Yeah.
You start justifying. Okay, this is okay. I can do this.
Yeah.
So saying on that, when I started again, to get into the game again, my first reaction was, I'll make 20 bands and I get out.
Yeah.
I said, I justified it. I said, I'll make 20 bands real quick, put that would hold me off, and maybe I could do something different. Man, 20 bands hit, before you know it, it wasn't nothing. 20 bands hit within the following week, and all of a sudden just, let's go. Let's go.
You
got a taste of it. And I remember I hit that first 100,000, and I spent maybe 1,000 that week. I thought I was going broke. I said, no, we got to keep on going. And I didn't look back afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just kept on going and going. But the more I did, the more I got lost. Yes, we had a good house. Yes, I had a job at the same time. But I lived a double life. I would go to PTA meetings and I would be our coaches for football. Yeah, I remember that. I'd be coach for football and soccer.
That's when you used to try to coach my football team at Midway.
Yeah.
On the sideline.
Yeah, because I was the I was center, and I remember one game I was, hiking the ball and it was going over the quarterback. So the coach pulled me out. I looked to the side. Dad's talking to the coach. I said, "Oh man."
He was talking to the
I went back in the game.
Dang.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So he showed up to the game, stuff like that, man. And so
And you just
Yeah.
had this double life.
So I'm
Double
living
life,
I'm
yeah.
living this double life, man, that in the daytime I do this, but at nighttime I'm gone. Y'all never see me at night because now I got to go back into the inner city.
sometimes we're gonna see you for a week or two.
Yeah, that's true. Be gone for about a week and then come back, and it's just I was all into it.
Yeah.
I was all into the game. That's all about making money.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I seen this part of you too that I remember that you being at the school, like you wanted to be that dad there for us though.
Oh yeah, I remember
what I'm
him
saying?
showing up. I was like in 6th grade. He showed up to lunch, and I was like, man, I was happy that
Yeah.
I was happy. I still remember the color Tommy Hilfiger. That's when Tommy Hilfiger was popping. I still remember the color. It was that baby blue, white with the little red stripe Hilfiger shirt. And I was excited, like, man, that's my dad right there. You know what I'm saying? I was proud, like, man, that's my dad. And then I remember going, like, in 5th grade, he showed up, and now baby Angela, he be embarrassed and everything. I'm like, man, like, why I can't even show up to the school now. He be like, Dad, nah, Dad. Like, bro, you're in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I used to be crunk, when Dad would show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
showing up to your schools.
but it just for all the fathers out there, like going to go visit your children at school is just so important.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
I mean, you're
And the
excited.
mothers. And
And-
mothers.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
the mothers.
Oh, yeah,
Just,
definitely,
that
definitely.
parent going to your kids and spending time with them, like looking at from their lifestyle. They got their own little lifestyle at school, but
Yeah.
if Angelo and I still remember that about
Yeah.
you, like kids remember.
There was a lot of good memories,
They're gonna
man.
make me cry now. They're gonna make me cry.
Yeah. Adrian, why your lip moving?
Nah. But yeah, it's so important, man. It's so important to go out there, and even it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like go and have lunch. You know what I'm saying?
It's the little things that count.
It's the little things that count.
Because time passes very quickly. People think it doesn't, but
Yeah.
in there it doesn't pass quickly, but I hear it does. Because I'm glad that y'all remember these type of moments, because I left y'all when y'all were little.
Yeah.
And here I come out 15 plus years and y'all have beards and everything. Y'all grown men. Y'all didn't have it when I left y'all.
Yeah.
So time is precious. Time is precious. So if you do have children out there, and all the fathers and mothers, take your time. Despite what is
Despite
happening.
the hustle out here, because so many things are going on.
Yeah, it's not just with the hustle game, but also with regular jobs, work,
Sports.
school, everything else that you're trying to achieve, whether it's good or bad. If you have a family, don't ever lose that opportunity, because you only get it one time and that's it. After it's gone. You can never get that.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get this going and just drop some wisdom and drop some nuggets and some gems, because I wish I had this when I was 18, 17, listening to a podcast, because I wanted that wisdom.
Yeah.
I desired that wisdom, and I could only get so much because it was through letter or through a phone call.
Yeah.
But I needed that wisdom. Like, man, how do I do
Because there's
this?
a million voices out there that are speaking to us.
Yeah.
And if we're tuned into the wrong ones, we go on that route.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a million voices today, you know what I'm saying? And I wish we had this, when I was, 15, 16, those were my years of, craziness, you know what I mean? And so shout out to my PO, Miss Bays. She would drop me some wisdom here and there, you know what I mean? But I was just too out there. But that we're gonna be sharing about that too.
But the thing is, she was planting seeds.
She was planting seeds, bro, and man, just like she was trying her best. You know what I mean? And it just didn't, really work out. I remember when I went to that North Texas facility, for a couple months, and I remember before she dropped me off, I was shackled up and everything. We went to we ate at Brahms, little burger place.
Yeah.
And that meant a lot. Like, man, this woman cared, even though she locked me up.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
She did more than her job.
She did more than her job, and so giving me little nuggets of wisdom. And I just seen her not too long ago, man. She almost cried.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, she did get teary-eyed, and I told her my story. And because, bro, I got locked up more than a dozen times in the juvenile system. and she was there, bro. Like I had to see her like 3 times a week. I was on ISP, intensive supervision probation. So Adam, you remember going to the? Did you go or no?
To North Texas?
No, to the juvenile
He
building.
didn't want to visit you, son.
No, no,
He didn't want,
no, I don't.
Me and Adrian used to beef when we're.
he didn't want to visit me. I know he ain't gonna visit Angela. No.
Nah, yeah, I was like, man, I ain't got time to visit Dad and Angela. Come on now, like, come on. I only
And
got
your
time.
uncles.
Yeah, and my uncles. I just don't got the time. But
Yeah, man, dude, and so so that's a whole different.
But yeah, and then you would come home right after that every time and be like, bro, Adrian, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be cleaning up, bro. Like, you gotta clean up the living room and you gotta
Doing talacha?
man, 2 days later, the routine of him just be gone. I was like, come on, bro.
Hey, my intentions were right there.
They were there.
My intentions were
You were
right.
trying to be the man, and I
Trying to
could
be
see,
the man, yeah.
and I could see that in you.
Yeah.
But then if 2 days later, it just be all washed away.
Boy, back swaddled up in the streets like a mug.
Yeah, for real. But
Crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, man, looking forward to this. This is episode 1. It's gonna get deep, super deep. We got kind of deep today. I don't think we got.
nah, it's
Just a little surface.
It's just the
surface,
tip of the iceberg.
surface.
You know what I mean? But that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
And also in the future,
wise guys.
we'll have some wise guys, people, merch
yeah.
and people
Yeah.
who we ran across over our prison or out here in the streets.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have where people can call in.
Not only just guys, girls, wise guys
Yes.
and girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, people gonna be able to call in and say, "Hey, man, I'm struggling with this." We can answer that for them. You know what I mean? Live call.
Yeah.
If when we start that, don't say nothing crazy.
Yeah,
There
you go.
Let it be PG.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is, man. So,
Good.
yeah.
All right.
It's good. Ready to eat
You
my
ready?
burrito.
You
Yeah.
ready?
I'm hungry now.
You ready? For sure.
Burritos cold.
All right. See y'all. It's a wrap.
Yeah.